This is part 2 of our face program. So in part 1, we did all of these commands up to y equals type. Okay, again, your graphing calculator program will have to include these. Now, let me point out already, I may want to check these numbers. I'm not sure if this is a nice square window. I'm going to have to double check. Okay, but for the point of this exercise, it's going to be okay. Okay, so now we're going to enter in, I'm going to enter in just these first 2 equations and explain what they're doing, and then I'll let you finish the rest of them. And you could try and create a new program and maybe use some of these, try and use some of these useful and less tedious programming commands. And down here we have some conversions. Again, I don't like this format. Okay, I would rather leave this as, for example, 10 squared and 9 squared, so it's easier to tell. And I would not distribute the 81. I would leave it 81 times quantity, but it's up to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to it. So let me highlight the one we're going to do. So we left off at y equals type, so this is the one we're going to do right now. Your worksheet explains how to get everything, but I'm going to step you through it. Okay, first thing is to edit the program that we just did. I'm going to hit exit, and I hit exit one more time. And notice this is my program list. Here's my program face. Okay, just note this number is 92 right now. Okay, so I want to edit this program, so I'm going to choose F2. And I want to get all the way to the bottom. Nice thing with the Casio, they have F2 as bottom, so I'm going to hit that. So I'm back at the bottom of the program. I'm going to hit enter to start a new line. And we're going to enter this in exactly as is. To get your quotes, it's alpha exponent. Okay, so alpha exponent is down here on the bottom. And then type the equation. So it is square root, which is shift x squared, parentheses, 81 minus parentheses, 81 divided by 100. Okay, close the parentheses, x squared, close the parentheses. Notice that Prizm is nice since it's in color. The outer parentheses for the root are in parentheses, or in blue parentheses. This inner set of parentheses for 81 over 100 is in red parentheses. So you can see the beginning of and end of all the parentheses. Common errors will be forgetting parentheses. So double check your parentheses if you get any kind of error. Okay, after the parentheses, notice there's another quote to say this is the end of my equation. And then we're going to store this in y1. Store is the arrow button above your on and clear button. Oops, hit delete here. I have alpha lock on by accident, so I'm going to turn that off and then hit the store button. Now this y, you cannot just type alpha y. It's a graphing variable y, so you need to go to vars for variables. We want to go to graph, F4, and then we want to choose F1, which is y. And then we're going to type in the number 1. So what we're telling the program to do is take this equation and store it in y1. Now, if you have an important equation in there for physics or math class or some other class, it doesn't have to be y1. You can put it in y20 if you want. Okay. You basically have you basically have y equations 1 through 20. So you got to pick a free one. Now notice the next line. What we're going to do is draw the graph. And again, it's probably easiest just to go to Shift Catalog to find this command. So Shift 4 is Catalog. Okay, I used Draw Graph recently, so it left it there, and that's a convenience of the Casio. Okay, so Draw Graph, hit Enter. Okay, now I'm going to enter in the next equation. So start with quotes. So that's alpha exponent down here, square root, shift x squared, parentheses. Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot the important thing. In front needs to be the negative sign. And again, it's the negative sign, not minus. Okay, let's go back. So now I need a parentheses. And we're doing 81 again, minus parentheses, 81 divided by 100. Close the parentheses, x squared, close the parentheses, and notice again, blue parentheses, red parentheses, groups them together. That's the end of our equation. So I'm going to go to alpha exponent again for the quotes, and I'm going to store this in y1 again. So I'm going to go to vars, graph, y1. So I don't have to worry that I'm erasing the previous equation because the draw graph command already drew it. So I'm going to enter this equation in now. Notice this is the negative of the one above. So the positive square root draws the top half of this ellipse. The negative square root draws the bottom half of the ellipse. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter for the new line, and then I got to choose draw graph again. Again, the convenience of the Casio, when I go shift catalog, since draw graph was the last one I chose, it's still there, so just hit enter. And now you can continue writing in the rest of these equations. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what we have so far. So I'm going to hit exit. Okay, I had to hit it a couple times to exit. And notice before I said note this number over here was 92. Now it's 148 because we added these commands. Okay, so it automatically saves as you program. Okay, let's execute it, see what we got. Syntax error. Okay, this is a good thing for this learning video because this will help you debug your program. So let's go to exit. Okay, put the cursor right here, which tells me there's an error before or after this. Draw graph. Square root 81 minus parentheses 81 divided by 100 x squared. Close the parentheses, quote, store in y1. I don't see that as an error. Exit. Let's try quit this time. Shift, exit, takes me right back. Let's try. Gonna have to do this video all over again. Okay, I paused the video here so I could find the error, and I didn't really find it, so what I did instead was just delete that first one, and the second one graphed fine. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and re-input that first equation. So we're going to go back up to this one, and I'm going to, this is convenient because now I can show you how to input a new line. So I want a new line here, so I'm just going to hit enter. Then I can scroll up, and again, we got to go alpha exponent for quotes, square root quantity 81 minus quantity 81 over 100, close the parentheses, x squared, close the parentheses, and end my quotes, store it in vars graph y1, hit enter. And now I got to put in the command draw graph. Oh, that's why. Okay, now I know what the error was. I didn't hit enter after this line. Okay, so go to catalog, draw graph. Okay, so now it should be good. That's why. You have to hit enter after each line. Okay, so now if I hit, actually let's do it a little different. If I go to shift, quit, go straight back to the program list. Okay, it saved it again. I'm going to execute it, and there we go. So that's an ellipse. Could be the head, could be the nose. I don't know. You're going to have to finish typing in the rest to figure it out.